I also, of course, could come in here and collaborate with some of my other colleagues on the help desk about, hey, any of you guys seen anything like this? I need some help trying to figure out what's going on with Joe. Again, I've got all of Joe's information right here. If I wanted to come in and add a subtask, a task to have the applications group perhaps go see if there's an issue with the code, I could create a task, have it linked to the work order, send that off, and I've got that information in here. So it's just a much better user interface for staff. It's a lot of time saving using the new Smart Recorder and just a much more effective interface. Still does everything that Remedy's always done. It just does it in a much more efficient manner and certainly a much better interface as we are looking at it. So initially, when Smart IT first came out in 8.1, it was just for incident management with Smart Recorder. But as you can see here now in version 9, they've expanded the Smart IT to include incidents, work orders, knowledge management, change requests, problems, known errors, being able to create and send out broadcasts. So it's gone way out to all of the modules now. And one of the things we did in change request was, not everybody's in change every day. And so we wanted to figure out a way to say, hey, if you are one in there every day, you just want to create it manually, you know exactly where to go ahead and do that, create it from scratch. But a lot of folks like to try to leverage that template so it will guide you through the process there as you do it. So I'm going to look for an upgrade, a server hard drive template that I know I've got out there, and say that I want to use that. And, of course, the advantage of using a template, as most of you know, is it automatically fills out of a lot of the form with a standard agreed upon things, like for upgrading the server hard drive. When we got together to build the template, we said we're going to always put that as a risk level 2 with a moderate impact, a low urgency, and, we won't let people override that. So we basically put that in, and then it's just now going to walk me through what are the required fields in order to have a change request. So here, if we're upgrading a server hard drive, then we would obviously want to identify, well, what server are we doing this in? So I need to go out and search for the server I've been asked to perform this upgrade on. So I'll type in what I think the name of the server is and have it come back and confirm that there is a CI out there called Maybach in fact. And so I want to identify that, and I want to indicate, well, what are we doing? Are we marking it as being unavailable? Are we moving it? We're installing something. We're upgrading it. What are we doing? And in our case, of course, we're doing an upgrade on that hard drive. So I want to make that relationship. Follow the little bouncing ball, right? Hit the next step. Well, when should we plan on doing this? So I want to make sure that I can go out and look at my calendar. I don't happen to have anything in here for this time frame that's in here, but I would want to pick my start date. I would want to pick my end date. So we're going to start on Friday, and we're going to say that we'll be done here next day. I don't know why it would take 2 days to do a hard drive, but that's just what I'm putting. So we'll capture that information now about our dates. Again, we don't have to go into the risk tab because we used a template that did it automatically. But, of course, be aware that we can ask a series of questions that have weighted values to it to generate these risk levels if we were doing a manual change request. And then last but not least, of course, with a change, you've got to have some supporting documentation. So I would come in here and check off the ones I wanted to do, go out perhaps as an attachment, bring those in there so that I can put that change in, and I would submit that out. And again, we've got the ability, just like we did in traditional change management, to look at the dates we've selected, look at the CIs that have been selected, to go out and do an impact analysis to see if we're going to be stepping on one another. In this case, I'll just bypass it for what we're doing here. But all the same functionality that people have been used to in Remedy is still in here with Smart IT. And Smart IT is a Remedy-only solution. It's not for some of the other BMC issues that you've got out there. So that kind of gives you an idea. It's very configurable. If you've added custom fields to Remedy, you can see those custom fields here over within it. And again, I like to think of it, especially in the Smart Recorder, is it aggregates all of the information a technician might need to have in order to efficiently work a ticket as they as they go through there. So the other one I wanted to show you, the other interface that we had kind of talked a little bit about, was this new Remedy Smart reporting. So, as I bring it up, I think the immediate thing you notice is it's got a lot of information. It's very nice looking graphs that you can see out there. I'm currently looking at my whole service dashboard. If I wanted to restrict it to just my incidents, I can load those dashboards. Again, 80 plus of these things come for you right out of the box. They're all very interactive, drill down capable, and you can see I've got incidents, I've got problems, changes, service requests, work orders, knowledge, and of course even my CMDB as far as looking at my CIs, which ones are causing the most issues, which ones are not available. So whatever type of board you need, you kind of got that ability out there to kind of get these in whatever kind of display that you would want to have. The other thing, of course, is we give you now the very easy ability to go in and create a report. And it's really WYSIWYG. It's drag and drop, whatever you want to do. So let's just go build a simple, quick report around incident management, for example. So what it's going to do is it's going to bring me up a list of all the information that might be related to an incident. And I merely start dragging and dropping what I want to have in my report. So let's say that I want to know that I'm looking over here for my incident details. That's all I really care about. I certainly want to know the incident's ID, so I'll drag that over. I certainly want to know the summary of what the incident is about, so we'll drag that over. We'll scroll on down here a little bit. Notice that it builds it on the fly as we go here. I would like to know who's the assignee of that ticket. I would like to know what the priority is that's associated with that ticket. And then we'll scroll on down and grab a couple of other related fields here. Let's look at the number of incidents we've actually got about an issue such as that. So you see it kind of builds it right here on the fly for you as you go. I can take that report. I can run it now. I can save the report and schedule it to run and be emailed at a future date. I can come over here and put additional filters on it if I wanted to. So you'd have to admit it's a pretty darn easy way to create your own. And, while I mainly did mine here on just the incident details, if you've got in your incident where you've associated it to other tickets within Remedy, all of that information can be gotten. Your, not resolution categorizations, but your product categorizations, your operational categorizations, they can all certainly be in there as well. Again, they're going to give you a wealth of information right out of the box, but again, very, very easy for you to go in and start building their own. The other kind of neat thing they do here is that they give you the ability to come in, and I'm just going to X out of that guy for the moment and just say we're going to skip him. You got the idea of how that's done. The other thing you can create is actually what they call a storyboard. So basically, inside of this reporting tool, you're building a PowerPoint-like presentation and dragging your various reports right into the presentation. So let's just create a new one there and scroll down and hit what we're going to be doing here. You put in your titles, your descriptions, those types of things as far as what you're doing. Then I could merely, once I did that, let me get this guy scroll down so I can get to my board there. Once I do that and I create that type of information, I'm able to then go pick my funnel, grab my reports that I want, really just drag and drop what I need those to be. Let me put in my details here, my description here, what information that we want to have that guy come up. And then we'll save that out. So that gets the name of this storyboard. Then it's just a matter of going out and saying, all right, what would you like to include in your storyboard? So the first thing I need to do is come in here and build a widget. So that's my slide that I'm going to have here. That's my title slide. I'm going to add another one. We're going to call it a content slide. Again, just give it a brief name here. Again, I'll use my initials so I can get rid of this. So I'll add that in. Now I've got a secondary slide. And here's where I can now go out, look at my various reports that I may have, just drag those right over into the report, and boom, you can build a very effective presentation right on the fly as you kind of go through there. So an interesting additional enhancement they made to the reporting to be able to do that type of thing. So very easy to do, very easy to come in and set that information up. I'm going to try to turn this AirPlay back on here just real quick to give you that idea of what that looked like from that perspective. So let me just click on that, click here, get rid of that, scroll back over here to MyIT. So I've actually got my iPad working now. So you can see on the iPad, I'm basically showing you that same view I did from the HTML client earlier in the day, report my issues, look at my most frequent issues. Again, I can click on my tab. I can go to the location services. Again, bring up the maps just as we did before. So here I think we'll go to the medical center instead. Bring up the floor maps about the particular one. It kind of shows you what that looks like. Be able to then bring up the fours, again, see what resources are available to you as you go through there. Still able to go and just say, I need to request something. I'd like to, let's see, this one, which is basically looking at all of my service catalog entries that I've got. This happens to be off of an iPad Air 2, so that's kind of in the middle size of what's out there. Works on the iPhone, works on an Android. So lots of different new look and feel of IT, which is really what the theme of the presentation today was all about.